You know what? Okay, let me. You know what? I don't have compassion for. I don't have compassion.
All right, give me that. We'll settle for that for you.
I don't have compassion for dogs.
All right.
I don't.
Especially
the ones on commercials.
All right.
They like Sarah McLachlan.
What am I doing in Denver? Passing the time until I remember. Feeling like Black Cup gone to November. Mom prays I'm back for December. Cause I left on a whim, left out to my next of kin. Frustrating game of life not winning. Funny my family told me I was killing. Cause I write rhymes when I make Instagram posts every time. Every picture works on the craft. Lyrics whack, okay, as long as I make you laugh. But a one way to Colorado. Corvettes or Falsperado. Means they live like no tomorrow. Hit up Drew for a couch to borrow.
Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Up here in the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole. I'm real repetitive, yo. Life giving me them blows. Not them good ones, though. More like ludicrous elbows. Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Up here in the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole.
Dreamed it Halloween in Denver. Change the seasons, night to remember. Black box, logo,
That's how it is. So who am I here with today?
My name's Adam, and yeah, what do you want to know a little something about me? Or?
Yeah, no, like who is Adam?
Okay, well, actually, God, I don't want to tell you everything right away. I don't.
Oh, why not, man?
You guys are already dripping with interest. I can tell. No,
yeah, man. Look, he stopped working. This guy never stops working. He pays for movies and still works. That's
I just stopped
crazy.
for a second because I feel like I'm in control with this headset.
Oh,
yeah, that is actually. I love that headset.
I feel a lot more important than I really am.
My bad. Next
take
time,
a moment to.
When this show makes it, we'll have 4 headsets.
Oh, sweet.
Until then, though.
We're talking about. So we actually do a podcast too. We do, and this is Jeremy, by the way.
What's
DJ
up?
Caffeine
He
Kid.
won't let
DJ
him
Caffeine
introduce
Kid.
himself.
I'm
He's
DJ
just
Nervous
like, I gotta
Ninja.
do it. We only in it 2 minutes. He's like, all right, this is cool, but my podcast. He's like,
Well, I'm like, I don't want to tell other aspects of my story. I'm like, or my, my life. I'm like,
if you don't want to say it, you don't have to say it. You're gonna hate the end of the show, though.
okay.
He's like a Mexican Duff Man.
Okay. Mexican Duff Man. That's
Or
who
a
Adam
Mexican
is.
Peter Griffin.
Oh, so you'd have to do like an in Spanish, like.
Well, now you got me thinking of the Kool-Aid guy, right?
Yeah, well, how would you do that?
Didn't the Kool-Aid man do that, right?
Like,
Oh, dude, I love Kool-Aid. the Kool-Aid man did do it.
Yeah, he would break through bricks and just, right? Oh, yeah.
what's
or
the
something
Spanish
like-
Kool-Aid man do?
There was a Spanish Kool-Aid man?
There must be.
Fanta.
Oh, Fanta. Don't you wanna?
No, he's got to it's like.
Hola.
See,
No.
he's got to be something better than that.
Hey, man, I don't know, man. I'm
Like,
Puerto
what's
Rican, remember?
What's the Spanish equivalent of "you damn straight"? Like, what does he say?
I'll have to
man.
think on that one.
This wall is too small, and I'm sorry. That was stupid.
This wall is too. Is this the Three Little Bears
I don't
Kool-Aid
know. It
man?
was just because of all the stuff going on with Trump. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Oh, like he was trying to use his hands.
I don't know. Wasn't somebody making like a baby like out on one of the walls, like a big sculpture of a baby? Someone's doing that.
Where?
Google that.
Someone-
Like
okay.
on one of the on one of the borders. Like I don't know, but if you look over the wall, you see like a baby coming over.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
I'm dead ass. Look that up. That ain't
That's funny.
just me.
All right.
There actually was a gay bar here in town. They thought it would be funny as a prank last year for Halloween
Yeah.
to put a mannequin
Did you find it?
crawling over a fence.
See, Abe isn't full of shit. Look.
You didn't mention that the baby was fucking enormous.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh my god.
It looks fake, right? It doesn't even look
It's
real.
it's a. It looks photoshopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see it's totally real. It's totally real.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 times taller than the Border Patrol Suburban in front.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Germany. Who is Germany?
I'm DJ Caffeine Kid.
Oh yeah, my bad. Who? There
I'm
is
also-
no Germany.
I also go by Jeremy Caleb, but I run a podcast on Toke Radio, a show on tokeradio.com called Gay Brunch.
Why did you say show? Our podcast beneath you.
Or no, it's both. It's both actually.
Okay, hybrids.
Yeah, we stream live, and then we're actually working right now to get all of our stuff edited down, get all the music, and get just the really good interviews.
A copyright battle. See,
No. We could actually still do that.
Okay.
Technically. But it's going to take some time to edit every single episode from the last year to get
actually,
it.
on the 13th,
You guys should hire me. I'm
last
unemployed.
month.
Just saying.
What?
You guys should hire me. I'm unemployed. Have laptop, we'll edit, you know? Have
It's a thing that we actually went through some when we started the radio show. We went through some bumpy
growing pains.
It was through some growing pains with some guests and some co-hosts, and things weren't always perfect, and it took us a while to actually iron everything out and to get the show to where it is today. I mean, back in the day, you thought we were a little bit raunchy today.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was horrid.
It's just F-bombs everywhere, all types of stories going for real.
Oh yeah, the stories you're like, oh my god, I've never even seen that in a movie. You can't make that stuff up.
And you got to be careful what you put out there, because it's out there forever and ever and ever.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure these podcasts are gonna destroy my reputation, so I better figure out how to make money on my own. Because if you hear these podcasts, all of them, sure, there's a guest like you two. But in reality, if you piece them all together, you kind of get the Abe story, That's what these are turning into, because I'm like, hey man, who are you? And I'm like, that's cool. Now listen to me talk about why life sucks, But nah, you're totally right. That's why we were talking about what we can and can't talk about, and some people, if you look at my episode list, episode 13, how they say there is no 13th floor?
Uh-huh.
There is no 13th episode because I interviewed, she was a marketing manager of a big, the Aztec Theater where I live, right? They book music.
Yeah.
Famous acts and stuff. And she heard it back, and every time she hangs out with me, whether we're doing a podcast or not, she's super real. And then she heard it and she was like, fuck. I feel like I come off like an asshole on this. Could you edit it some more or take it off? And I was like, yeah, dude. Once I do my edits, I'm like, I'm done, dude. And I was just like, I'll just take it off. Because that was actually the second time, many years ago before I was doing a continuous podcast, she was going to be my first guest. And as soon as we were over, she was like, can we do it again? Because I was too real. And I was like, all right, clearly you're just always going to be paranoid. These things aren't for you. She's banned. She's banned. Not because she's a bad person, but it's just anytime we talk, unless it's hi, I'm a person, and just we leave it at that. She's probably always just gonna ask to edit it out. Yeah, but most people just be edit that one part and it's good.
See, that's what I have to do with all of our last episodes, because they've been streamed live. We go on live.
Yeah.
It's there's no bleep button.
No, for sure.
No, I can think past some stuff I've said, and I'm like, oh my god, if I could just retract that. And there's one that's a doozy. I've done a lot.
What
of
is the stupidest thing you've ever said?
No, I'm not going to say. Are you kidding?
It's let's get it on wax again.
Regretting it now.
Let's get it on wax.
And give out your phone number.
There you go.
Neat.
When you stream live, are they automatically archived?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that sucks for you.
Well, we could always, if
you can change it for sure.
Yeah, and all we have to do is talk to the station owner and just say, "Hey, can we edit our episode for the archive?" And he'll always say yes.
Yeah.
And then we can, which we still have to do with certain episodes.
Well, think of everything that's out. See that there's so many reasons I think that we'll never be invaded by aliens.
Wow. How was that?
No,
the ill transition.
No. I'll bring it back around.
It's all good. I just found it hilarious.
No, we won't, because we are disgusting creatures, first of all. And everything that they're watching that we watch, if for any reason they think that that's really us, I mean, think about, we look like a bunch of rodents running around on this planet.
But let's assume that that's what they think. There's always terraforming, right? That's always a big plot in sci-fi movies.
Would you really want to eat something that's going on?
You don't gotta eat, but you can just get rid of us in a nice way that is recyclable for the planet, for their planet. That
that's
they're
what
claiming from us.
Talking about terraforming.
Okay.
Oh, was that a transition point?
No.
Okay.
No, I was explaining to him what terraforming is.
Oh, I don't know if I really know, but it's usually converting the Earth to fit a different type of species, you know, changing the atmosphere from
So-
from A to B.
Yeah.
We talked about doing that with Mars by doing a nuclear missile to create an ice age, to create water, to create.
Would a nuke really do that? Would it Eartherize it?
It's not how you do it.
Well, there's this whole process. Well, there's this whole process to doing it, and they actually say that would be worse for the Mars landscape
Okay.
by doing that, you know, and us making it so that humans can inhabit Mars without having to wear spacesuits.
If it's gonna take all that, I feel like we ain't going. Well, I mean, we might go to Mars, but we ain't really living on Mars like us. These
No.
four. It might be like other generations.
Well,
if all that needs
I
to
don't
take
want to live
place.
on Mars, man.
I ain't say we need, but I just mean like our age group. Like
I'll get
literally
stuck
us.
there. Everyone's gonna die. I'm gonna be like fucking Don Cheadle.
You ain't you ain't going there with Tesla and Bezos and all those people, or not Tesla? What's his name? The guy who owns Tesla. My bad.
That's Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Musk
Musk.
and Bezos and friends. You're not going with them?
They didn't invite me. No.
No.
No, I have to hang. Well, I mean, if I could, but I'd have to hang on to the fucking wing.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you might
that's
die. I'm not right.
I might. I might. Yeah, I can barely hold my breath underwater. I might die if I hang
Oh,
on to the
fuck.
wing on a thing going to space.
Yo,
Yeah.
so
I've seen you hanging from the shade up here putting it up. That was hysterical.
It's true. That was one of my
Oh, yeah,
better
one of the-
moments.
One of the
Can I
twisty.
say?
hey yo, so since you've been saying enough already, who is Drew?
Who am I?
Yeah, who is Drew?
Oh,
My man was ready to kill your nuke story, but he's like, "Who's Drew?" Like, whoa, I don't know.
What do you want me to say? Like,
You tell me. I ain't Drew.
You
I ain't Drew.
know what I love about
I'm
Drew?
a guy studying architecture.
Why not? That's you. That's
Sure.
not true.
I'm
That's
trying to do his work.
Yeah,
No,
my man's working. My man, like,
I'm attempting. Yeah, it's
I came to Denver because I was just tired of dealing with my problems, so I ran away from them, like every human should do. But I stayed with this man who is nice enough to house me, Drew. But what I've seen, yo, this guy, like, for when it comes to the architecture, man, like, yo, he has like amazing work ethic. Like, the man is always on it. Like,
Oh,
even
yeah.
on this show, he's working. Watching movies, he's working. Documentaries, he's like, yo, man, I really want to see this documentary. He's like, puts it on, working. He's like, he's like,
Well, if it's anything last night, then I go, no, never mind. This documentary is shit. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put on
yeah.
another documentary.
and then still keeps
And that was
working.
much better.
And you like hockey, and you like tell me all this shit, but you still working through the game.
Oh yeah, well, I don't even think I could. I never liked it until I started working while I was doing it.
Oh, okay.
It's like that background noise. You know, when you work alone or work from home, it's nice to have that some noise.
Speaking
And
of
to have,
background
like,
noise,
especially if Doc
tell
Emmerich is
the
announcing.
people what you do when you go to sleep.
Oh yeah, my crazy white noise fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So that I don't hear things. I'm a light sleeper, all right. So I put on a white noise fan that I get on YouTube, and my room sounds like a fucking jet engine. And I've kind of grew dependent on it really, really fast.
Really?
So much so that I actually wake up real quick. Like even if it turns off. Like if my internet reception gets bad and it starts going,
Shit, we're crashing. Shit.
I'll wake up.
We got to get a white noise machine.
That's what I do.
You hear police sirens in the background.
Oh, okay. You get to hear the window.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Yo, when I hear those at night, I check my phone for press. Now that you told me about it, it's all good, dude.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Sometimes it answers the question. Yeah.
Yeah. There's, you know what? Actually, in this neighborhood, there's so much that goes on
Yeah.
that it's not even funny. Like, there's always something going
we
on.
had a bomb threat.
Yeah.
Once,
Like-
actually
like
twice.
this
on
Twice in the same night.
right here on the corner here. And
Okay,
then-
they had it. I mean, like,
no,
this,
I'm talking about like literally
Right out your window.
I
Right
gotta
out the
delete
window.
that
Okay.
call actually.
and
What,
then-
the bomb threat?
Yeah,
The bomb. Wait,
Oh my
do
God.
you have the bomb threat? I'm like, play it now, dude.
So the cops get done over here on this side, and then they get another bomb threat right here at the end of this block. So literally on each corner.
You got attacked by both corners like a war. It's like literally.
Something-
Yeah.
Nothing went off. I don't know if somebody was just faking it or what was going on, but yeah.
Well, the with what I read with the news reports, it was a suspicious package.
Yeah.
But you know, they're not gonna say shit.
Yeah. I mean, it might just been a bad Amazon package. That could be suspicious.
But then another day we could have a parade just going right in front of our house, literally.
Yeah.
And then marathons, and then shooting or stabbing the night after that. It's crazy.
She's saying this way too nonchalantly, like it's Tuesday.
Well, it is.
Oh, people do not hold back down on that street.
No, we actually found a blow up doll a few weeks back in the alleyway. And it had a boner.
The blow up doll had a boner?
Yeah, the blow up doll had a boner.
I know the blow up doll can do you.
And this guy, because I thought it was hysterical, so I was just in the bus stop is literally.
Are you gonna whip out a picture of this?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I think that's why. Because it was cracking me up so much, I had to share it with people. So the people that are sitting there at the bus stop, I'm like, hey, and I hit this guy on the shoulder. I go, you got to see this, and he goes, huh. He goes, you should go hop on that. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Jesus Christ. He totally judo flipped the whole thing, man.
I love that you did that because you don't even know who. It could be like a super conservative person. And he's like, what the fuck?
Oh, who cares? It's that funny. You got to share it. And then, so then
you didn't find it?
I couldn't find it. I put it on my Facebook wall, and it's one of those ones that's like hidden all the way back.
Got you.
So Caffeine Kid walks out. In same alleyway, and literally it's probably like 50 feet away from our door. And this was probably maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
We both walk out there, and as we're walking by, and it's like, I don't know, we're heading over to Walgreens, whatever, and it's like right there in the alley, all you see is this ass going up and down. And I'm thinking, okay, he's doing somebody. And no, and because... it was like a train wreck. You had to stay and watch for a second.
Yeah.
So he pops up.
You're the reason that there's traffic.
Yeah.
You're the
reason. Give me 1 second. It's worth it. Look. Yeah. No, but so he gets up. He wasn't doing anybody. He was humping his blanket.
He's what you got.
Was it
man.
humping him back?
What's that?
Was it humping him back?
No. Well, I don't know.
Low tier blankets.
I was curious if you bought it dinner.
At least, yeah.
Or took it to a movie.
Something.
Or if it's meeting the blanket's parents.
Town. And then and there's a lot of business people walking,
It
changes
downtown.
It goes through its phases throughout the day.
Why is tell me why? Because honestly, I was telling him, this is like the first time I travel where I've kind of haven't done nothing. Like I kind of just been here. It's probably because I have all this crap in my head, all this stuff I was running away from, So I just been thinking about all that stuff. But why is Denver awesome?
It's actually a pretty friendly town for the most part. I mean, the majority of the people that you run into, I like most of the people, and when it's you don't have that east. Well, now you're starting to get it because we do have a lot of imports, but the east or west coast. Mentality of go or things like that, but that's starting to kind of adapt. But it's cool because those people are liking the attitudes here so much that they're adapting it.
They wind down.
Yeah So that's a cool part.
I mean, to me I love the legal weed, but unfortunately we started getting, since we legalized it, these people that we've nicknamed travelers, and they come here around 420, and they're homeless from other states, and they're probably in their teens and 20s.
Yeah.
And I mean, these people pack the mall and, begging for change and this and that. And then right around Labor Day, they up and out of town.
Well, a lot of those kids are
go somewhere warmer.
Well, they're trust fund babies too. I was talking to somebody who actually works with the youth here in Denver, and he was telling us that a lot of them, because some of them, they're out there begging for change, and they're wearing clothes a hell of a lot more expensive than I could ever afford.
So why are they doing it then?
Because they can, because they don't have to work, and that whole they read a book and this whole thing about traveling across America and getting the experience, blah blah blah, and then.
I'm all for that, but don't be a bum.
Well, and then mom and dad find out what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly mom and dad say, well, guess what? You're not getting any more money. You know? And so they get cut off from that. And then that just kind of sends things into a spiral from them until they pick it up and apologize to mommy and daddy, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, plus it's been overcrowding the town.
For sure.
I mean, weed has just been overcrowding it. And I mean, these tourists that come in all the time, they take 20 to 30 minutes to make one purchase at a dispensary, leaving everybody that wants.
He's not talking about the street crowd. He's talking about the lines.
Well, no, those people do that as well. No, those people do that as well. They take forever at the dispensary and hold up the line.
Yo, create a line, yeah. And honestly, because we walk in and it's like, so what would you like? In here, I will either go. Well, we both just go. What is the highest THC? That's what we want, in a joint or whatever. And then they're like, cool. And so they know that about us, and they'll actually sometimes even have it ready. Like highest THC. So it's a good thing.
It's pretty routine if you're local here and you're like a pot smoker.
Yeah.
On what you go into dispensary and get, or what you want, what you're in the mood for. A lot of these tourists don't know about dabbing. They don't know. Some of them know just a little bit about edibles, but they have like a zillion different questions. What does that do? What does that do? What does that do?
And they all look different too. All the places you walk into, because some of them look like an old rundown house that is like a 1970s in the basement bar that you walk into. And then you walk into another one and you got some great music going on, plants all over the place, plus the weed plants behind windows that you can look into. And, they have like a huge gorilla in the corner that makes no sense but fucking fits perfect. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like there's no way around it. So, but they're all. That's another thing I do love about the weed stations.
Well, yeah,
the weed parlors.
I mean, it's, and then you get everybody from people that when we would go get it medically back in the day before it was legalized recreationally. We went to this dispensary. It was off of 30th and Downing, about maybe 5 minutes from here. And it was all these cholos working behind the counter. And you're there for a medical reason. And you're like, I'm looking for something that's really
good for back problems.
And then the guy would look at you and go, well, this one's good for watching movies. This one's good for doing video games. And, it's evolved. The law has evolved here in Colorado with bud tenders with how knowledgeable they have to be. Like, and they have to be very knowledgeable.
It is like a bartender in that sense, because some of them are so knowledgeable, like they actually study and they're a little bit nerds about it, which is cool, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have the other ones that are just like, they're there to make a buck, whatever. But in the end, you're walking out with what you were probably going to walk out with in the beginning anyway. So
that's what's up. I on that thing, I've been I was talking with Drew about it the other day. Like, I'm a big believer that probably every drug I feel like should be legalized. I feel like he doesn't agree with me.
Oh, no, I'm intrigued to hear.
No, well, I mean, I just think one that'll get rid of, like when we were talking, what was his name today, the guest on your podcast?
Oh, Gabriel MacArthur.
Yeah, like he mentioned, it gets rid of the black market,
Yeah.
To call it the nice name, but it gets rid of that whole black market, the whole gangsterdom of it. And then I feel like a lot of people do this shit because it's the cool anti thing to do. Mm-hmm. I think if we legalized everything, I think in the short term, there's probably going to be a lot of bad shit, like overdosing and people going way too hard. Mm-hmm. But I think once those people kind of do what they need to do, again, might be some really, some deaths, some negatives, unfortunately. But I think like once we get over the like, oh my gosh, everything's legal, I think that everybody will get over it, and like, it probably won't be as big a deal as it is now, as glorified as it can be now in certain cultures. Like me coming from hip hop, a lot of people glorify a lot of that dumb shit, Not just weed. I mean like the dumb stuff,
Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
No, but I know.
So they actually have these parks that people could go and shoot up in, smoke meth in, and they're patrolled by the police. And it's okay to do it in these parks. It's patrolled by the police and medics, and it's controlled.
So it's like, the controlled environment. So
yeah,
at least nothing crazy will happen to you.
And that's the only way I believe that could possibly work, is if it was in a controlled environment for the time being.
That too. I just think you need to, like, I'm not saying
no
control. Just want it everywhere.
That just cracks me up. I mean, honestly, you talk about hardcore drugs like that in a controlled environment. That's like giving the ice cream man access to drugs to give out to kids, you know. How controlled they're. No, but I know what you're saying because you're going to get clean stuff, not cut with something, clean needles, and then possibly if you want, I guess, do they have an area for you to do it in so that like if you do start going into cardiac arrest, whatever?
Yeah, well, yeah, they have the medics patrol the park.
Crazy.
And, you know,
that's cool.
In case you start ODing.
No, it's a good way to look at it. And they have, from what I understand, less of a problem than we do.
In Canada as well does something similar. They have clinics for heroin addicts.
To the clinic and get messed up.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound. I'm like, huh. That's not like.
What are you doing on Saturday night? Oh, we're going to the heroin clinic, eh?
Or it gives like new meaning to like working for Friday, you know, like, living for Friday or something, whatever that term is. But
that's funny.
All right, should I move? Because I don't know how long y'all got.
Yeah.
Should I move into the life questions? Because I feel like those tangent into everything anyway.
Yeah. Could we take like a 2-minute break?
If you need to, go do what you got to do.
All right.
But yeah. So this podcast, at the end of it, I do all these life questions. You can duck and dodge them because I sense hesitancy in the beginning. So we'll see. So the first one's a simple one. What is your goal in life?
My goal in life?
Yeah.
The cliche, always be happy. You know, be as happy as often as possible. I don't know. Are you like professionally or? I know you're asking me, but at the same time, I'm like, it's your question. So you answer it how you need to. You just said always be happy. So how does one go about always being happy? Work less, make more money.
What's the strat? What's the strat? I'm trying to learn that. That'll probably give me a lot of hits. I'll just cut that.
Okay. Invest in his CDs and books, and for only $999 and
infomercials.
At these prices, you can't go wrong.
And you could be rich like me.
Get my 8-disc Laserdisc set.
Damn, the laser disc. Fuck.
No, I do realize that your job, if you enjoy it, is half your paycheck, and the people that you work with is half your paycheck. The money is important, but that'll all follow. And there's so many different levels of making it. A lot of people, we talked about it earlier. You don't have to necessarily be like Madonna as a singer to be happy. You can perform all over town. And if you do it correctly and you get the right people behind you, you can actually just do that and nothing else.
Yeah.
I haven't figured that out.
Yeah.
That
still
part
working
I haven't
on it
figured
myself.
out. Well, and if you do the band thing, you're trying to get anywhere from 2 people at the very minimum to 12 people in a band to all agree artistically is really hard.
I mean, for me, I didn't have that problem because like my thing was very different than most people are real bands. My thing was like I made beats, right? A lot of my people, I came from like the beat scene, a form of the beat scene. It's just people who make beats, but we're not hip hop, even though we kind of are, But I was like, this is boring watching people DJ their beats, right? I want something more. So I was always around a lot of jazz musicians. So I got my trumpet player and a guitar player. Later on, the guitar player moved, but at some point, my friend, he says what a lot of friends probably say to us. Hey, I have a friend who does music. You should do it with him too. And I just laughed like that. Like that. He was a stoner, and I was like, this guy's full of shit like always. And I laughed like that. But he linked us on Facebook. I sent him a beat, and then this guy rapped on it, and it was Tommy Wong, Drew. And it was fucking amazing. And I was like, oh shit, this guy's serious. I should probably be serious too. So I'm like, hey, I'm playing a show. Let's go play a show. Come with me. And he did it. And this started the beginning of back then we sort of practiced.
Pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll show you some stuff after. Yeah. Back then we sort of practiced, but pretty much we had one song and then we played the rest of the set. He just freestyled all of it, and then my trumpet player has perfect pitch. So, and he's a jazz guy, so no matter what song I dropped, E minor, he knows it. B flat minor, he knows it. C major, he knows it immediately, right? And so we would just keep doing that. We would have one, then later on we would have 2 songs, but then the rest would be freestyles. But then some of those freestyles turned into fake songs. But you fast forward to nowish, and I grew that to like 4 horn players and a drummer added to that. So, but it was with that same concept, and even worse, because now like no one would know the set but me, and I would only know the set the day before. And I kind of took that from like Thelonious Monk jazz philosophy. Like there was this idea of his son was a drummer, and he was gonna play with Thelonious Monk, and he said, when we gonna practice for Saturday? They were playing together. And it was like, we talking about practice, like we playing a show, like we should practice. And Thelonious Monk told him like the gig is the practice, you know? Like you get good at your instrument, your craft, or whatever, but then boom, we do that, you know? And that's kind of like how
so the whole show is freestyle all the way.
Yeah,
all
pretty much. Like we have songs, so if I throw on a song, and obviously he's gonna know it, so then that song he doesn't have to freestyle.
So then he branches off to whatever from there.
Yeah, and even those songs, because he would like never memorize them fully. Like we have a song called "Beam Me Up, Scotty," right?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
we do, and it's a real good one, right? But like I would hear that song sometimes, and then I'd hear them. I'm like, he'll get the key points, but I'm like, that was different and that was different. Chorus is always the same, of course, but I'm like, he changed this and that because he probably forgot it himself. But as long as he's rapping something and they're always rhyming, you know, and the chorus is still the same, and you know the C section is the same too, so everything's still there, you know. Yeah, like that rapper was special because he could just freestyle for days. Like most rappers can't always do that, you know?
They hit
the instrumentalists, because all of them are jazz guys in some way or another. They can easily adapt, and then the ones that couldn't, like Matt, would be like C sharp, you know, and like and then they would just adapt to that, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, our thing was a bit different. So, and I think a lot of them, because we would get paid cheaply, they didn't mind playing for me for free because it was the opposite of every band. Because every band is like, as horn players, they bow down to whatever the band leader tells them to do. And in my band, they were all freaked out on day one, but because they would be like, "What do you want me to do?" And I'm like, "Do whatever you want, and if it's bad, I'll tell you." You know? And for the most part, I never really have to do that. But that's unusual for all of them. Even the drummer was like he's just not used to that because most of the time people give orders and they're the instruments themselves, you know. But this is the only band where they can just show up, do whatever the fuck they want, and people don't get mad. I don't get mad, and for the most part, like the crowd doesn't get mad either. Because I feel like the danger of always improvising is I would say 80% of our shows are good, and then every now and then, you know, you just don't.
so I got a question on that.
Yeah.
So
same thing with this podcast.
Yeah.
Not this episode. I just mean just in general. Because sometimes I'm like, I'll interview people I don't know. Like I guess I don't know y'all too, but like there's an artist like I did recently, and I could have totally Googled her, but I told her like, fuck that. That's boring. Like I'll find do out, you and we'll see how good this is. And if this sucks, then I know in the future I better like.
He used that word very openly. I just realized
it was a girl too. Like so it's like even worse. But I mean, but you know what? She's a lesbian, so she know what I was talking about. So she
so you're going around doing lesbians now.
So, yeah.
So she did
I don't
you.
know. I got myself into. I was gonna say I got myself into some hoes here, seriously, but then that's probably bad too. But I mean,
in the corner second.
I know, right? But I was like, if it's bad, well, then I know in the future I should probably research. I think it was an okay show, that one. It was. So there's some stutters in there, but I mean, but what were you gonna ask before?
So yeah, you're absolutely right. So when you get into a band, usually, well, no, it's not necessarily. It's either. It seems like it's always the lead singer or the guitarist who are kind of head of the band.
Yeah,
on average. But then, so when you go in to do sound check or whatever, all of a sudden everybody's the boss and everybody wants to hear their instrument, you know, over everybody else's, and then it just becomes this huge match. And then that's, I don't know. There's so many. Getting people to get along on that kind of stuff.
When I was explaining the San Antonio venues and how they're not the greatest, like when I grew the band bigger, that's where we would have problems, is that we couldn't always hear each other because not every venue had a monitor situation that was great. The ones that did, we were awesome, but the ones that didn't, it would just be like noisy bass and like crap, and those shows would be unenjoyable because to some degree I have the easiest job, but if I can't hear what I'm doing, well, then that shit's hard. Like now I'm like, hope this works, you know? Because I'm kind of like a conductor in there. And then like where we doing that improv, you need to listen to each other. That's how it doesn't suck. And if we can't hear each other, well, then now we might just step on each other's toes the whole entire night.
It's like a DJ without their headphones.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily DJ, but I also don't use headphones. But I'm an Ableton guy, so like I'm playing like these journeys versus like spinning deck A and B, you know?
Yeah.
Even though I have my own deck A and A B I won't get into. But
I always you said something like you even do it with your podcast, and we're going to be able to do the same with ours, but we bring our own equipment in.
Yeah.
So and it's nice because
is all that yours?
No, not that stuff. I have some other stuff, but it's nice when you can roll in with your own stuff. You know exactly how to put it, where to put it, and you know have that nice crisp sound that everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, and people, I had people get mad at me that I'd roll in and I'm like, do you mind if we use our stuff? They're like, yeah, I guess if you have to. And then, you know, they would be very happy with it in the end because it's the first time they had a clean sound in their bar.
Yeah. Like we had talks of getting in-ears for everybody and stuff, but I was like, dude, this is too much money I'm spending. I'm like, I'm over here living this, like, don't have a real job, just little jobs here and there. And I'm like, I'm the one. This was one of the many reasons why I had to end it, because there's like 7 people. There's too many people to manage. And even though they're doing a lot of the work on stage, I did everything else. Yeah. And it's just taxing. And it's like, well, I just got to do it for me, dude. Because if I'm going to work this hard, like I got to get the 1% of the benefit that we get, you know, like at the end of the day, you know, because it would suck. Like I'd be the only one promoting the show. I'd be the only one booking the shows. I'd be the only one doing that. And then when no one shows up, well, I was like, dude, I'm only one man, you know? Yeah. So I don't know, but bands are fun. That was the goal. Yeah, that was more of that story. Yep. What's your goal in life? Unless you weren't done, were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. What's your goal in life?
My goal eventually is to be on Saturday Night Live.
Really? SNL?
Yeah, that's one of my.
You're calling it. That's good. You're putting it into the universe.
I
First claps of the show.
That would be my ultimate goal. Would be at some point in my career, be on Saturday Night Live.
That's what's up, dude. Do you think you need to? I know if you get the gig, you have to move to New York. But I'm saying, do you think you need to move to New York before to even get the gig?
Not necessarily. Well, what I'm saying is either as a guest or
you just want to be on it.
Yeah, okay, just so once.
There's a variety of ways to get on it.
But I don't think I'd be able to handle sketch comedy every week.
Okay.
Especially because I don't see how they could keep a straight face with some of the stuff that comes out of their mouth on SNL.
He had it on last night, and Larry David was like in one sketch. It was a bad sketch, so it was good that he cracked up. But it was too funny, or something stupid happened. He just couldn't stop laughing.
His mind.
Yeah, and that made the whole sketch funny.
He could not control himself.
Obviously, if you were doing that every sketch, that would probably not be good. But when that happens, it's funny. It's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't think I'd be able to be a permanent cast member on that.
I'd love to do the new segment. That looks like a blast. Those two guys.
You do the new segment every week with me.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about on SNL.
He's like, he wants to do it with good people.
No, I want to do it. Yeah, I want to do it with adults.
Screw you. I'm the one that has to explain. Now, Donald Trump is the president.
No, he's not. He's just so. Anyway,
Russia is our supreme
leader.
Shout out to Putin.
Guess he was Putin you on.
Damn. I just got that. That's horrible. That's horrible.
Oh my god.
What so how you gonna do that? How you gonna make the SNL dream happen?
Keep working and acting. And I've been in nothing but serious film, and I have done stand up before, but I think I need to cross over the two at some point and do some sort of comedy, but I just don't know when is going to be the right time to start for me.
I got you. How'd you get into any of this, like acting, stand up? Which came first?
Acting came first when I was 13. I was in a movie called Asteroid. It was a made-for-TV movie for NBC.
Damn, so you started off at the top.
Not necessarily. I was an extra. And, I was in a couple commercials here in town. And then, I kind of, let acting get away from me. Later on, I ended up getting a job at a comedy club and started doing stand-up in my adult years, which led me back to acting again. And, working with some of these comedians, and it's awesome.
That's what's up. But acting is the overall passion, right? You're not gonna, you're not planning the 1 hour comedy special one day for Netflix, or
I would, you know what? I would love to write.
Okay.
I would actually love to write. We've had some ideas that we would like to pitch to a couple of different networks. We have some backing right now. We just need to sit down and write everything down that we want to do with this series.
Sometimes I feel like maybe that's like my big mistake, and is that like I always, like, we were talking about this in the car, like I'm a big DIYer. So like my thing for anything, my plan for anything I want to do, like let's say I wanted to do a show. I guess this is a show, right? But I mean, if I wanted to do a show, I just like kind of figure out how can I do it within my means, and then I just do it. I never think pitch it to someone, or like my friend, all my friends who make music, right? I probably have only one who's like a real friend who like I've hung out with and I can call him and stuff, and that he actually made it like on a real label, right? He's like, his stuff is played like worldwide right now, in the EDM scene,
Wow.
He's on Paul Van Dyke's label, if you know who that is.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I forgot something with a V. Vandit. I think it's Vandit Records. But he did that by like constantly sending his shit to labels.
Yeah.
And I was just always just like it just never occurred to me to do it. Even now, I'm like, I'll just do it without them.
Well, I haven't made everything I've auditioned for.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is you are eventually, you are going to get turned down. But if you eventually keep going and going and going, and you're persistent, you will eventually start, doing what you love full time.
No, for sure. But I mean, I just, for whatever reason, I'm just saying, like, in my programming, I just, for whatever reason, like, I never go towards majors, Are you trying to say something, or are you just talking to yourself?
I'm thinking.
Okay. This is what I'm saying. He was giving me the point. He was literally looking at me, giving me the point, and he's like, I'm
imagining myself explaining it to someone to see if it makes sense to myself. And
for sure, I got you.
And I talk with my hands.
I got you. But you were looking at me, even though you weren't looking at me.
I know.
They were
I'm
here.
Sorry.
They were.
I'm sorry. It's a meltdown. What can I say?
He used to he talks with his hands.
But yeah, I was just saying, like, my programming is always to just do it myself, instead of like, maybe if I could get a company to make my movie, or if I can get like a label to do whatever, I don't know why. I'll just do it myself. I'll just make my own label, even if it's nothing, like I'll just do that.
Well, the thing we've been fortunate about, him and I, is we've had friends help us produce, and we've had a lot of friends that have helped us, especially being involved with Toke Radio. We've done some travel documentaries before.
Hugest suggestion. I mean, one thing that we always say to each other, it's like, what's the answer to every unasked question? It's always no. So, but if you go out and you start asking for help, you're going to find that one nerd who's been looking for an avenue, and they say, well, someday I'm going to do this, someday I'm going to do this. And they're actually really talented. And then all of a sudden you just talk to that person, and next thing you know, everything is opened up for you, and things that you didn't even think about. And you can do it and the cool thing about people in school, they're learning the best of the best right now.
Yeah.
And people that are seasoned are learning that and maybe somewhat teaching it, but they're not, sometimes that younger person or whatever and they have hunger, and they're totally willing to knock on doors if you can back them up in other ways that they don't have avenues to.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important.
There's, we started pretty basic, and then kind of latched onto other people. And that's how, like our shows have gotten bigger and stuff like that. And, he eventually wants to get into managing talent. He's talked about that before.
Yeah, I would love to it'd be cool to travel around, see different shows, even put myself in a position where I could perform myself, even put together conglomerations where you take somebody from this band, and this band and do something together and just mix and match and just let people go play. Yeah. I don't know. There's so many different aspects you can do with it. So
for sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your question.
Well, I mean, he gave it to you. He laid it up. He laid it.
I mean, it's pretty much, and along the way, I've just made some, I've made some kind of just impulsive decisions that have led me to meet certain people along the way. And actors and managers and all these people are really good at what they do, and they could do nothing but help you in life.
All right. Drew.
Yeah.
What's your goal in life?
Finish this project.
Yo, that was a good impression.
Yeah, pretty. Enough said. Just get me through another day.
Nah, hit me up. Give me some.
To land this plane.
Drew enjoys short walks to fast food restaurants, smoking.
This is true. I've done all these. I've done all these.
Cut that.
Smoking a Cuban ham.
Oh man,
That too.
I haven't done.
Whatever the fuck that means. I don't want to know. Yeah. Get back to me later.
Oh, come on, man.
What do you mean? I mean, just to.
Anything, dude. It's your question. You answer what you need to be.
So, for what you're going to school for, what's it like? What do you want to be when you grow up with it?
Well, I want to be able to make the buildings my way.
Is there?
Frank
I want to
Sinatra
at least
status.
make them right.
Well,
it doesn't really matter my way. I mean, it's more of just a,
do you like some really obscure
process,
something that nobody's ever seen before, kind of thing, or you like what kind of
obscurity doesn't really matter. A lot of them.
No, you just want it to last. I mean, talking about angles.
Lasting's been a really important thing. Yeah, lasting so far. Like all the other things I've done before, I've used very little wood so that they last a very long time.
No brick wood.
no wood bricks.
Yeah,
no.
wood bricks. Like, I didn't know that was a thing until he told me about that.
We're talking about.
You just got that look, dude.
No,
Remember when
yeah,
I said he doesn't fantasize
Well,
about that? He's already got it in his head how he's going to do it.
We're talking about 1.5 foot thick solid walls.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that last a long time.
That's
That
oh my
actually
god, you
create
sound like
a
my
sort
dad.
of identity and.
Nah, he's a super nerd when it comes to buildings, yo.
Oh my dad's a project engineer and oh my god, he built a house. I swear to God, this home, if there is a nuclear war, will survive. There's rebar, I think, every 6 inches plus mesh.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, it's probably not every 6 inches.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, it is, dude. This thing is going to last forever.
So you can't
and
joke
the only
with him.
reason
You
I
can't
know,
say that shit.
yeah, it's not every 6 inches, but it is ridiculous, dude. I mean,
I'm sure.
not
Is it
throughout
all
the
concrete?
It's well, not the whole house, but yeah. I mean,
Bunker.
Yeah.
Where did he build it?
Colden. He's not there anymore, but yeah, that thing is gonna last forever. Nothing he ever built has ever cracked or it's survived all. And there's some homes in that area that have like slid off the side of the thing, and his
Oh, that'd
nothing.
be disappointing.
Nothing has happened to anything he's ever done.
So that's on the Drew checklist. Don't have your house slide.
Don't have your house
slide down
on the side of a
Yeah,
hill.
exactly. Yeah, that's number
Caissons
4
are
or 5.
important. Caissons are
Don't
very
slide down
important.
mountain.
His houses are going to be big bad wolf proof.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
That was
a good way
actually
to
one
put
of
it.
the ad things they did on one of the other ones. Yeah. You ever heard of the Big Bad Wolf? And then it's like, I'm serious. I mean, because the walls are 1.5 thick. It's seriously like the house will not go anywhere. It's gonna last you a long time. There are buildings that have lasted, since for thousands and thousands of years. The only reason is because they were built just like that.
Yep.
And that it didn't rain where they were built, but they survived earthquakes. That's pretty impressive.
Got you.
Just so long as it doesn't rain. That's the one. Rain's a bitch, man. Water will get you every time.
Damn. Fuck water.
Fuck water.
Hashtag. Stays mad serious too. He's like, nah, I mean it. He's
No,
like,
yeah.
he's like,
No, water's cool.
He's
Water's cool.
I'm
You gotta have
Pisces.
that
That's
water.
water sign, dude. Yeah.
You got to hit the water.
All right, let me hit you with the next one.
Yeah.
Who do you have compassion for? Shit, this shit went silent. The heat went silent. Everything went silent.
Everyone.
The fucking room was like, what?
Silent.
That, like, you ask general questions. Are you talking
That's
about my personal life? You talking about in general?
You do with it what you need to do with
Why'd
it.
you say who? You mean what?
I usually mean who. Yeah, who.
Yeah, of course, for
He's like, well, I can't use buildings. Fuck. He's like, it's like, fuck this question.
for Jeremy. Yeah, we've been dating for a little while, for a minute, and then my family.
Yeah,
and, and we've talked, passion for. If he said who or what, music.
Yeah.
I love performing. You know what sucks? I got a horrible memory, and so I could be. That's why I'm bad in bands, because I'll just start making up shit, and if I can't make something up,
jazz.
I start
Play jazz,
and then I start mumbling, which a lot of jazz singers mumble. I'm like, what the fuck is that person just say? It doesn't make
That's
any
how
sense.
Scat was born. That's,
If in doubt, mumble.
I just mumble and key like they think I'm a genius.
So that was my short but simple answer.
All right. You're going to love the rest. Get ready.
All right.
What you have compassion for? Who do you have compassion for?
Of course, him.
Yes.
My family. The biggest thing, I do love live entertainment. I love film. I love DJing, and I also love cooking.
I'd have to
Do
agree on that
you?
one.
This is a side note. How did the name come about?
DJ Caffeine Kid.
Yeah.
So, my rabbi's grandkids.
Of course. You should just stop right there. It's that old story.
So I used to work for Starbucks.
Okay.
And I always used to be all about my energy drinks and stuff like that. And so we started doing these, boxes of coffee that you could, take to like a meeting or whatever. So I always used to take him with me to the synagogue. I used to stop by my work and take him to the synagogue. And his grandkids started asking me, why do you like coffee so much? And I go, because of the caffeine. And they started going, hi, you like caffeine, kid. You like caffeine, kid. And so that's where my DJ name came from.
Well, were you already DJing at that time? Or
Kind of. I was slowly getting into it.
So how did that happen? How did you get into DJing?
I was working for it was a nightclub here in Denver. It was one of our larger gay clubs. And
was it the shit like we talked about?
Did it also involve a rabbi?
No.
But
We actually had
Rabbi
we
did
actually
go, though. Your rabbi went. He did go.
He's like-
no, he went to went to
different one.
Charlie's.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
He went to the competition.
Yeah, he went to the gay country bar.
Yeah.
He went to the country gay bar.
But was the club the shit?
It was.
You see?
It was. And so I started working, floor staff, bartender, and then I started hanging out with the DJ and started learning slowly how to DJ. And so I started getting gigs there.
What did you spin?
I usually spin like either house, pop, top 40s. It depended on the night.
For sure. What did you use? Like CDJs or just
CDJs, I used vinyl.
Okay.
I learned on vinyl first, and then, now of course when I DJ, use a
Couldn't
computer.
afford the other stuff.
But,
I'm just kidding. The vital stuff. I'm kidding.
but now I have no idea how in the hell we had all that music back then and lugged it around.
Oh my God, lugging all that stuff, even when it went
Crates of
small.
vinyls?
Oh my God.
people
my
used to fly
God.
on planes with
With
crates.
crates.
Yeah.
You're the reason we're gonna die.
Now they got USB sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, now you could take your entire music library with you.
Yeah.
Like they have up to, I think it's 8 terabytes for a flash drive.
I was rolling in with my.
There's way. Whoa! I just heard you. 8 terabytes. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up. That's a lot of shit.
I had one of my crates of CDs, and I'm rolling into this place, and as I roll in, the guy at the end of the bar goes, "Burritos?" Yo, he thought I was selling burritos.
Yeah. What year was this? He probably doesn't even know what vinyl is. That's why. like if it's recently.
Yeah.
Well, he started off with karaoke.
Oh,
I did
man.
karaoke and DJ'd, and then I've done
I've
all
been.
sorts
This is
of
what I'm
different
saying.
stuff.
Like I've been just like super stubborn for all these things. This is why I've had like a different path than everybody, in that I always avoided all those things. Like I've turned down or given away all my wedding gigs, to other friends.
Dude, it's exercise.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Maybe, man, but like me, like I want to. You ever heard of Steven Wilson or Porcupine Tree?
I haven't
Any?
actually.
All right, it doesn't matter. But I was one of my favorite musicians, right? And he was playing in Israel one time at Tel Aviv, and he was taking requests on his acoustic, and someone asked him, "Play your favorite song." He's like, "My favorite song is, I don't remember the title, but blah 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 by the Beach Boys." He said, "But I don't know how to play it because I learned guitar and I always wanted to do my own thing, but I never learned anybody's songs." Today he now he knows some covers because he figured he's a guy who he does everything himself. So he sells. He's like, "Oh, I can sell these covers." So he finally learned covers, but like maybe now because he's an old man, he's like, "All right, let me do some of this stuff." But at that time, he didn't know how to play that. And it's fucking Beach Boys. I'm sure it was just a 3-4 chord song. It's probably not even that too crazy. And his music's way too complicated, like for most people. But I've always been like that. Like apart from maybe like day one, like where I was learning like video game themes on my guitar. I just always wanted to do like my thing. And anytime I have to not do my thing, I'm like, it sucks. And like, even though it pays or something, like it sucks. Like I remember like recording a rapper who's like a good friend, and we spent the whole day recording, but that was my day off from work. And I was like, this sucked. I know I got paid at the end of the day, but I was like, damn, my whole Saturday's gone because I fucking recorded this song that I don't give a shit about. Like I always value like the thing over the money, which like might be cool, I guess. But then I'm like, I don't get money.
Well, the way I look at it, you get stepping stones because weddings, corporate, if you're DJing for something like that, it's crazy money.
No, it is.
You can pretty much name your price, but the thing is you take that money and then you can put it towards gear that you need for whatever you want to do. And
I've had,
not to mention opportunities that open up while you're there, because I mean, people will come up that are interested and they're like, "Hey, I got a friend who's a DJ," and then I've had so many people say the exact same thing artistically. Even bands are like, I don't want to do covers. Every band I've been in, I've always said, "Hey, could we try something?"
Yeah.
And so we do 70% covers, 30% originals.
Yeah.
And I say, let's just give that, and then we'd hand out our music for free. I said, just give it out. We've got all the rights.
I'm not against that, but the free part, yeah.
Well, so you hand out that 30%. They listen to it, and then suddenly, our crowd started building. And then we went to, and I said, here in about 2 months, we'll switch over to 50-50, and then we'll go 30-70. So we'll do mostly originals and 30% covers. But then we educated our audience. And,
you train them and stuff.
And, these guys, they didn't want to do wedding gigs or anything like that. So I'd go DJ that stuff. And with all the money I made off of that, I was able to buy all our equipment sound-wise. Plus, if anybody's instrument or something went down, I was the person who was able to go, don't worry about the guitar. I got it.
Yeah.
I'll cover it. And then, pay me back.
All of that, everything you're saying is wrong. Because I'm never saying like my ways. I'm just saying like this is the path I've been doing for whatever reason.
No, that's cool.
But the one thing I will notice, like me versus like the group of musicians I'm around, like those guys, especially the ones that played with me, they're amazing. But like I've known a lot of amazing musicians, and every musician's dreams, right, to make it, right, quote unquote. But and a lot of times, man, I see them like they are making their livings off of music. I think one of the best jobs I've seen that isn't a teacher, because a lot of them end up teaching, but like teaching at the what would you call piano bars, or like playing at the piano bars, right? Because that's usually enough money to pay that to be their job, and all you got to do is play from 10 to 2. It's all covers, and you got to be good because you never know what you're gonna play because someone's gonna give you a random song, or you'll have to learn it in the back. But when I talk to them, even though they say their thing is to make it, like, because they end up doing that, they never really have like the discography, you know, or whatever. Like, because they say they want to make it, but they never have like how many songs you got, and it's like, oh, I'm working on one, like really, and it's still the same one they were working on 5 years ago. Versus like me, like I don't got no money, but like I go check like my thing, I'm like, oh, I got 42 songs. I was like, which is not a lot, but I was surprised like I had 42. I was like, because in my head I'm always thinking I've only made 5. I don't know why, even though I've been doing this for years. I'm like, damn it, dude, I gotta get to double-digit songs, you know. And I'm like, oh, I've been there for a while already. Wow. You know what I mean? Or the same thing with the podcast. Like I only started doing this version for real in like April, and I probably have over like, I don't know, like to be nice, process. 50 to 70.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Well, it's just what I'm saying. Like I always have finalized products. Are they making any money? Maybe not. But I always have the finalization. And a lot of them always say they're going to do it and never do it because they are in a way doing it. And I've noticed the jazz musicians are the worst because they play standards, right? Because, you know, the classy cover, you know, but they play standards. But because of the improv element, in theory, they're creating every night. So they're almost getting their rocks off every night. Because unlike playing a cover where you are literally doing probably 99% of that song is how the song should be, you play the head in jazz and now the rest is you. So I've noticed, like, because the jazz musician gets to kind of compose in that way, they're usually the worst in getting anything done because technically they're getting it done every night, but it's on that stage, you know?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like how you look at it. No, that's cool. No, so that's not to say either's right. They got more money than me, all of them. So I mean,
that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
But yeah, those are just the patterns I've noticed. Drew, what do you have compassion for?
Compassion?
Yeah. Or who?
Who?
He's that like, male statue he's looking at right now.
No. Not really this. I'm tired of looking at these dudes. Literally. I don't even want to say what they're doing. It's extremely inappropriate. like it's worse than it's.
This is gonna be the best for like people who listen to this on audio only. Like they're just gonna hear that part, and then usually all my intros of the shows are like I cut out a funny moment out of context. That's gonna be it. I'm tired of looking at these dudes. I don't want to say what they're doing. It's inappropriate, and then it's gonna this episode will start.
That's fantastic.
Well, there's no way.
That's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, everybody should do it. Like
I can't say it because rape isn't funny.
Why you gotta be all serious?
Exactly. Exactly. Now you know. Now I dropped it.
Buzzkill.
It's an ancient sculpture. It's a story. I don't even know what's going on. I don't want to read it.
All right, compassion then. Bring us up. Bring us up. Now that you brought us all down.
I have compassion.
Yeah. Who do you have compassion for?
Question mark.
There is none.
There's no compassion.
Come on, give me something. I'll be light on all your answers because I know that
compassion for the less fortunate. Like, what do you mean compassion?
I hate that answer.
I know, but it's such a generic. I'm sure it's the only thing you get because what do you mean compassion for? Like, what do you mean? Like
a lot of these questions are from
you know what? Okay, let me. You know what I don't have compassion for? I don't have compassion.
All right, give me that. We'll settle for that for you.
I don't have compassion for dogs.
All right,
I don't. Especially the ones on commercials.
All right,
they're like Sarah McLachlan.
What?
Yeah, all dogs like Sarah McLachlan. It's on TV. It must be true.
Yeah. I feel like you're about to agree with him.
So
she does all those commercials.
Just like rescue this problem we created for ourselves.
With only your donation of $25, one of these dogs could be rescued.
It's like, do you know how many kids in Africa you could probably feed with $25, bitch?
And for every And for every $25 we don't raise, we'll kill one.
Damn.
It's such a self-serving agenda. Like the only reason people would donate is just to make themselves feel better. Because if you really put it in the hierarchy of the world's problems, we really just got to stop caring about that. Because there's a lot of other shit we could fix if we did.
Damn, fuck dogs. Fuck dogs.
So,
There's anything I learned today is like stop saving dogs.
Yeah. Now you said it right. I wasn't gonna agree with you when you said fuck dogs.
Okay, stop saving
Bestiality
dogs.
It's not okay. It's not okay.
Hashtag no bestiality.
No.
Hashtag don't save dogs.
Don't save dogs. I mean, it's sad. Like I do. Like trust me. Like I'll like pet. I like playing with dogs. I just don't want to own one.
Got you.
All it does is just a methane making thing that you gotta like live your life based off. Is
methane
bowel movements.
My man treats them like cows.
And like, yeah. I think the whole save the dogs thing is just so incredibly out of touch.
All right. So
and it's like, oh, they could never do anything wrong. It's like, what did people do to you that you need to save a fucking dog? What did like are people so bad? You're like, well, that person, you don't know, they might have done something awful, So I won't feed them for 25 cents. Instead, I'll give $25 to this dirty Shih Tzu. So it could be clean, given a bath, and be just as happy as it was ever, Just sure, like you shouldn't have that much money.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Maybe this comes more from living in San Antonio too, because there were so many goddamn stray dogs there.
I have a Shih Tzu too.
It was it was so out of control. Yeah, you got one. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I'm sorry. But like it was. I mean, they started out just as things of like they were signs of wealth. You could only have them if you could afford them. It's like this like extra like they don't help anything unless you're blind.
So dogs need to contribute to society.
I think dogs need to step up their game. They need to start playing basketball. I'm talking Air Bud.
Get jobs.
They need to get jobs.
Be productive.
Lots of jobs.
Some more rescue dogs.
Not
dogs being rescued,
they
but dogs doing the rescuing.
Dogs and
Yes.
That can't happen. That won't work. But
hey, maybe one day you'll have a dog pilot fly you to another location.
Yeah, dog pilots. That'd be
literal Air Bud.
Literal Air Bud.
In Denver, that can mean two things.
It's a hell of a spinoff, man. They had far less relevant spinoffs than Dog Pilot. So it's not totally out of the question.
Hey,
here.
if John Travolta could fly a plane, so could anybody else. So could a dog.
Right. That's right.
All right. So no compassion for dogs. Check.
Yeah.
All right. This should be easier.
That was quite a tangent.
I feel like you're gonna answer it in a similar fashion. But that's fine. 3 things that you're thankful for in your life. Career, personal life, whatever you want to do.
Although I've lost it, it's actually, I feel like I've lost it. I don't know what my dreams are, but when I do figure out what my dreams are, I go after them hardcore. And so right now I'm doing a job that I don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
I actually hate it, but I love the people I work with. But I know if I stick with it just longer, I'm going to hate it so much that I'll chase after my dreams. That whole dig in the ditch philosophy, makes you want something else. Let's see, what else? You're gonna have to come back to me on the next 2.
Damn.
I know. I can't. Yeah, well, see, that's the shitty thing. You should be able to rattle off your goals right. You know what?
No, you don't. No, you shouldn't. They're all. That's why I ask these things too, because I feel like a lot of us aren't self-introspective.
I want to travel more for sure, and I want to. P and I both like working while we're traveling because the entertainment aspect of it, we can take that to other places, and it's cool to bounce ideas off of other people and get different ideas. I mean, I've learned some stuff from you today, definitely. So,
I'm glad. I'm like, I always feel like I just spew shit.
Yeah, kind of. No,
yes.
Okay.
I think that pretty much
moving on. X-Lex.
All right, those are the 3.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
weed, 24-hour liquor stores, and no, I'm kidding.
Wait, is that a thing in Denver? 24-hour liquor stores?
No, no.
I was like,
no, actually, it was God. I forgot how long it was ago that you couldn't even buy alcohol on Sundays here in Denver, and it got to the point where the state ended up changing the law. No, but the three things I'm actually thankful for are the places I have traveled, the people I've met, and the experiences that I've had.
all right. Drew,
What's the question?
3 things you're thankful for.
3 things that I am thankful for. My parents.
Photoshop.
No, right now that's not how I'm feeling. Actually, it's quite the opposite of what I'm feeling. I mean, how like such a loaded question because you're supposed to say something sweet only about people.
No, you're not. You just do whatever
Yeah, sure
you
you are.
need to
'Cause
do.
if you do things that then they're backing up through time, and there's just no. It just doesn't make sense here. Jeez.
He's like, outside of my parents, not too much. He's like, not thankful for Coke. You love that shit. Yeah,
Yeah, it'll probably fucking kill me.
I mean,
It's probably the death of me, like,
seeing you drink more Coke than probably like actual Coke addicts take Coke. You know what I mean?
it is a bit much.
I love Coca-Cola, but I heard that it's pretty dangerous to your insides.
Well, I mean,
I'm
like,
sure it is. That's why
yeah.
I've been trying to drink more coffee in the week, which is probably worse. Probably much, much worse.
I mean, yeah, a lot of the stuff that tastes good seems to be always bad for us, unfortunately. Like, that's usually the pattern. And somehow those things are legal,
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. But whatever. You got anything? You got anything more, Drew?
No,
Just parents. That's
sure, yeah.
just fuck everything else.
Yeah, and not dogs.
Yeah, and like hashtag never forget.
Did we get that? Have we covered that?
All right. Where you see yourself in 3 years?
Myself in 3 years?
Yeah.
Hopefully on a reoccurring series.
Sitcom status?
Sitcom miniseries,
Yeah.
something like that. And I'd also like to see myself higher up in the restaurant, working in the kitchens, that type of stuff with a different chef title.
I have like 2 people who want to be, what is it called? A sosu chef or
A sous chef, yeah.
sous chef? Yeah.
What'd you say?
A sosu.
Sosu.
I don't know, man. I haven't worked these
That sounds
kitchens,
Japanese.
really.
A sosu chef.
Maybe, man. I was entertaining.
It sounds sophisticated, so
I was entertaining the idea of teaching English in Japan. So look, maybe that's me preparing myself. If I just make it up, they will believe I know what I'm talking about. Yo, Drew, you got 3 years.
What can I do in 3 years?
Or no, like where you see yourself in 3 years, or where you want to be, or whatever.
I'll have to be working. I have to get my license, so it's kind of clear cut. Hopefully, I'll have been graduated. Graduate school. Copy.
But you'll be working for someone else. Be working for you.
It would have to legally be someone else.
All right.
Such that I could acquire my license. Pretty boring as shit.
Drew's always gonna have the short answers.
Well,
Because he's doing homework. Normally, I found ways to poke at him, but he is actually working. So I don't want to bother him too much.
no, it's cool. I gotta trim out this fucker's sensitive parts right now.
All right. Since the homie's gone, I'll save the rest for him. But what is the perfect day?
The perfect day.
Yeah.
I would have to say waking up at a decent hour, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, after a full night's sleep, being productive with my day, going over, reading through a script, reading the news, getting my Sunday show prepared, going to work. Everything's laxed. I get a lot accomplished, and I'm not stressed out at the end of the day.
So I feel like being productive with no stress.
Yeah.
That's the perfect day. You got something for me, Drew?
Saturday.
Why Saturday?
Saturday. Enough said.
It's almost good that y'all were here. Drew would have been like the worst guest.
I would have been the worst guest.
It would be like, that joke you always hear about Robert De Niro?
Okay.
He's like a shitty interview because you ask him something and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't really like say nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be pretty much sitting here, and the highlight would be like me talking to myself every once in a while.
There you go.
It's like that. He's the opposite of the cleaning lady from Family Guy. What's her name? Rosa. No. But he'll go, yep, yep. He's the white version of that.
Oh, he's like Puff Daddy.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever happened to Puff Daddy?
He changed his name to Love, I think, like yesterday. Like
What
I'm
the
dead
fuck
serious.
are you talking about?
If you Google Puff Daddy, I think name change. Like he changed his name to Love or some shit. Love you. Or...
He's still Puff Daddy though, so that doesn't matter.
No, he said he changed his name to
Isn't he like in his 50s now or something like that?
maybe 40s or late 40s. Like a lot of those guys are all, I noticed, late 40s. So 48ish. I wouldn't be surprised.
You clearly didn't understand me. He is still and will forever and always be Puff Daddy to our generation.
And honestly,
Love, aka Love.
Are you gonna call him that?
Hell no.
What is he to you?
It's Puff Daddy.
That's right.
He's
Puff
Puffy.
Daddy.
Probably Puffy, man.
Yeah, that's fine too. You know what he's not?
Yeah, Love.
Love or P Diddy
Yeah.
or Diddy, whatever the fuck it was. That was such a. It's like you made your name worse, man. You made it really worse. Like a Diddy, like.
I don't know, dude.
Look at the little Diddy. What's a Diddy?
My dad always used to like forget his name, and he used to go, that Coco Diddy or Coco Daddy or Coco Puffy, whatever you call him.
Mom, yeah, like anytime older people would say his name, would always fuck it up like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that Puffy Puff. Cocoa shimmy.
Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs. Man, that must have been great for like diss records. You could probably just call them all types of cereal.
Did he have any enemies like that?
I mean, he had all of Death Row, right?
I mean,
but he wasn't the rapper, so he wasn't taking the brunt of the force. It was usually Biggie and friends.
We're gonna get behind this. Puff Daddy name change.
Yeah. Confirm this.
Spelled almost everything wrong in that.
They know what it is.
Except for Puff Daddy.
What did you find?
13 hours ago, yeah. So he's still alive. That's check one.
Okay, do you have the good news? Do you have any good news?
Is it Love? I feel like it's Love,
Love
something.
a.k.a. Brother Love.
Oh, that's where I forgot Brother. My bad.
Brother Love.
Brother Love, yeah. That's totally better. And then you can press play in here and explain it. Don't do it, though.
And he says, hashtag, take that.
Take that. Yeah, so like no one's going to remember that except for like us. This one is like one of the tougher ones in that like I still haven't found a proper way to ask this. I'm still trying to formulate this one because a lot of these are all questions from a self-talk meditation I do.
Okay.
So that's why they're all like weird and introspective. But this one would be like where does the will to carry on or persevere come from? Does it come from within for you? Does it come from a higher power or faith or something? Like where does it come from for you?
That's a really, really difficult question for me to answer. I'm kind of on the fence on do I believe in science more, or do I believe religion? Do I believe in fate, or do I believe, in the truth?
Yeah.
I am simply, I'm simply confused, and being on a sci-fi show kind of trying to get into character, you start to get a different mentality about the universe and the things around us, and things like chakras, spirits, and different opinions of what they are. And, I do believe everything is scientifically possible. And, our universe is probably a small speck of dust in some supreme being that we don't even comprehend's hands. It's a possibility, but I do maybe believe that some of it comes from within and some of it comes from help.
You got something for me, Drew?
What's the question?
Damn.
He believes in Photoshop.
There you go.
Oh, what do I believe I can fly.
Shout out to R. Kelly.
I believe I can touch.
I believe I could fly.
Oh, he's singing bars. Are you gonna perform it? He was giving you the beat and everything.
That was it though. That was it. It's actually much better. I'm really glad you let that slow clap die.
Yeah.
Somebody get the phone.
I got it.
Here, I could go grab it.
All
I'm
right.
closer.
Drew, where does the will to carry on come from? Does it come from within or a higher power, faith, something?
It comes from within. Sure. That's how they're displayed. I'm gonna say it comes from within.
Does it?
Just like, I don't know, it comes from self-awareness.
And how did you get that self-awareness?
By looking at the shit that you do.
And?
Trying to... What the fuck was that? Just trying to do better.
I think that's all we're gonna get from Drew for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry I had to bow out. What was your last question?
All right. So I think for you,
The answer is false.
False. There you go. For you, you were supposed to get where you see yourself in the next 3 years.
Next 3 years for sure. Traveling a lot. We have a couple. Caffeine Kid and I have a couple ideas in the works. In putting together some different stuff, and we really want to tackle the entertainment industry, doing some different shows, actual video, and still doing podcast and radio and things like that. You asked me what one of my compassions is earlier. Yeah. I actually thought about one, and one of them is I want to drive the pedicabs around here. And if you don't know what a pedicab is, basically it's a tricycle. That they ride up and down the 16th Street Mall. And so I want to be, the cab driver and pedaling this bike. It's good exercise, but these guys have some crazy stories. I mean, things are always happening downtown. So I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I've seen a little bit of those here. Maybe because it's, not that it's winter, but it's cold here. So maybe there's not as many. I don't know if there's more in the summer.
There's a lot more in the summer.
Yeah, it's overrun, but we're always hot. Like in Austin, is a shitload of that.
It's really competitive. But some of these guys do have the regulars. They have cards, everything else, and they pass it out. I see this one guy. He's a younger guy, really really skinny, lean, and he's just. It's crazy because he does all sorts of tricks on his bike while he's riding. Like he'll hang off to the side as he's coming up to the stop to where you're at. Yeah. And, his legs are completely out parallel. It's just crazy what he does on his bike. And, other guys have.
And shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And, he's owning it. And, I'm not saying I want to do something necessarily like that because I don't think I can, but there's other aspects. I could take entertainment into that as well and have a lot of fun talking to people and just meet all sorts of people from all over the world, literally.
All right. That was... Yeah, so you combine that because I was like, wait, how did we get to question 1 again? I was like,
you should do that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. And to be honest, since I haven't done this in a while and I was trying to do that without looking at my notes here, I actually skipped one, but I'll wait till he comes back for that one. But what is... Yeah, because you did 3 years already. So what is the perfect day to you?
Perfect day. Oh my God. I'd say I love kayaking. That's probably one of my favorite things I've ever done in my entire life. I don't care how old you are. It's one thing that you can do, extremely athletic. And there's actually a lot of gymnastics involved in that. It sounds really weird. It's a very finesse sport, and it could be very extreme. And if you get a chance, jump on YouTube and look at rodeos. And some of the rodeos are crazy where these guys just dip their boat into the river and there's such chaos going in. They can take and put their kayak straight up and down and spin it a few times and dive into the water, pop back out, jump back on. And then you have somebody, older people who like to just do rivers or lakes, really calm stuff and see some scenery. But no matter what, you can take anybody out there with you and have a good time with it. Did I answer that question right?
I mean, it's your perfect day, ain't mine. I didn't say give me my perfect day. Because I know, but I hate kayaking, you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, and spending the time with my boy and hanging out, and
what was interesting there is like, so you gave the I feel like I get your answer more, well, not all the time, but the answer you gave is more like all right, perfect day, this, so we're gonna do like something big, and he gave pretty much like his normal day, as long as he's productive with less stress than normal,
yeah, no, that's actually
no, not that that's wrong or right, but I was thinking like that's interesting because I wonder when people say what they already do, in some degree you can almost argue, well, they're kind of already on the path already,
No, he is doing it, and it's actually perfect to watch him get up in the morning. He's looking at news and he's looking at stuff for something that's going to happen 6 days from now, but he's already doing his research, and he's always looking at the comedy aspect of it, and what we're going to ask listeners to. He does all the research, and I kind of ride on his coattails, honestly. And actually, I got to get out of that. Entrez-vous?
Said
yeah. No, I got it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. All right. So the next one that they also answered is where does the will to like persevere carry on? I mean, where does the will to like persevere or to carry on come from you? Does it come from within? Does it come from a higher power, like faith or something?
I'm atheist, swear to God.
Okay.
No, I'm
like, I don't care.
That was the joke. I was like, come on now. Come on. I'm atheist, swear to God. No. It actually comes from different things. I've had some people who have recently completely ticked me off, and I had 1 or 2 ways to handle it. I chose, live life good. That's the best revenge. And you can't even look at them. You can't even give them anything that you're even thinking about them, even though you are.
Yeah.
So that's my revenge. That's I get power from that.
Yeah,
it's like
be better.
Yeah, and tick them off.
Yeah.
Damn it! I thought I tore them down.
It's weird because you gotta be better so that it does tick them off, but you can't be focused on ticking them off.
It's a double-edged sword, but at the same time, if that's what gives you the energy to do it,
no, there's some people. Michael Jordan was one of those people.
In what way? What do you mean?
So like Michael Jordan, like to me, he's probably had one of the strongest mindsets to me ever. At least not in terms of like smartness, but in terms of self-belief. Like so like one of the things he would do is like narrate stories to himself that were false about his opponents. But if I say something like, man, you punched my mom in the face, not that I'm gonna tell you that, but I'm telling myself that while we're playing, I'm probably gonna want to score 50 on your ass instead of just 30. You know what I mean?
Oh damn!
And he would do that a lot. And then one thing that he never admitted to this, but a lot of people felt he did. Like he was friends with a lot of the stars, right? But a lot of people think he did that because he was getting into their meta, like into their heads all the time. So like he was always playing the game, like even when the game's not being played, so that when the game is being played, he's gonna snap you. You know? So
so it's fake it till you make it.
Well, not so much fake it. Well, he's faking it to himself.
Well, no,
Yeah,
is no. I've heard that term, and it's just a different. It's just a different canvas. Different
but it was
painting,
just like you're talking about getting the revenge. He was inventing the revenge to motivate him because they didn't even do nothing to him. They just want to play basketball.
Exactly. Well, that's a double-edged sword too, because I mean,
well, that's why a lot of people feel he's an
powers.
asshole, because when you're believing that all the time, you act a certain way because you believe it when you believe the falseness to be the reality. Now you're acting to a narrative that doesn't exist. You treat people a certain way, you know?
Oh, Muhammad Ali. Same thing. Yeah.
So I mean, like that's why a lot of people didn't think he's the greatest person. You know, he might be the greatest ball player, but he's maybe not the greatest person.
Because what he put into his head.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things though. If you have a magical power, you have two ways of using it. You can use it for good or evil.
Yeah.
And bad shit happens to good people, and good shit happens to bad people.
Yeah.
And but there's that balance, and if you put more of your, on the good side, you're going to get more good than you are bad. It's just how it is. That's how I feel about it anyway. And it does. Like I invest my emotions into other people, and I could be in the worst mood in the world. And Drew's helped me out a couple times. I've been down and out, whatever. He's taken me in, and he's put me in a good mood when I was in a really, really bad spot. So,
he kind of did that for me too. I was just like, that's why I came here.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't ever have to do it for him, but hell yeah, I'll be there right there for him if he needs it.
I got compassion for you guys.
There you go. He finally answered it.
I had to come in here when he found a mouse.
That's right.
And he was up on the couch. He's the one straight guy I know that you'd actually see up on a couch. There's a mouse in here. There's a mouse.
I was trying to find that motherfucker underneath that thing, man.
Those things scare the shit
It was
out of
running
me.
all over.
I wouldn't want to deal with
it.
It's something I would deal with if I have to. I'm not fucking clamoring like let me at him. You know what I mean? I'd be like more like I'd be probably frustrated and probably cautious because like I don't know, that dude might have like diseases and shit. Like I mean like, I don't know where Rat's been.
Ratons.
This was actually supposed to be question 3, but I haven't done one of these in like over a week, so I forgot. I thought I knew it all in my head, but I didn't. But one person that you want to forgive, and if you can say why, and vice versa. One person that you want them to forgive you, and if you can say why.
One person I'd like to forgive me is actually my Spanish teacher in high school. I was kind of a complete jackass to him. I basically tortured him, and at the end of the year, huge sweetheart. Honestly, everybody that I've ever been mad at, no matter what the reason has been, I've forgiven. I have 2 people in my life that I will never forgive. And I honestly, if I were to ever see either one of them, and this sounds really deep and dark, I hope to God on their last breath that my face is the last one they see.
Damn, some Punisher shit.
Wow.
Yeah. No. And I feel strongly about that because they completely wronged me. And there is nothing they could ever do to make it right.
Damn.
And you know what though? They're 2 people that I've actually gotten passion from, and it's like, screw it. I'm going to become stronger because of you. You are not taking me down.
The idea of things happening for you and not to you.
Yeah.
Even if it's a shitty thing that's happening.
Yeah. You got to learn from it and just.
I'm trying to change my mindset to that, but that stuff's hard because you have to be, like he said, self-aware.
Yeah.
A lot. Can you say what they did or not? You don't have to. It's up to you.
They just both got. Let's just say I was really friendly to them.
Yeah.
They got into my life, and I've literally looked back on every conversation that I've had with that particular person.
Yeah.
And everything that I've done action-wise, and I didn't deserve any of it. And it was just really personable. One of them I didn't even really know that well, and he just came after my life, and it's just like it's so not worth it.
Damn.
So yeah,
right.
That's it. That's about as much information as I can give you. But like I said, when somebody does do something like that to you, just brush them off. Don't give them anything, and just continue
great poet,
on.
Jay-Z.
Run forward. Don't look to the side, and don't look backwards. Go for the race.
The great poet Jay-Z, who's performing like across the street tonight. Get that dirt off your shoulders.
Yep.
So, you.
Let's see. That's a really tough one. I would probably say if I would want anybody to forgive me, it would probably be all of my friends for the hell I've put them through, all of the drama that I've put them through, with the entertainment industry. And, a lot of my friends are tight with me like that. And, they've been there. And I know I've kind of at some points been a really big hard ass. And to all of those friends that I have been a hard ass to or a dick, I'm sorry. And as far as people, I don't know if I could. There's a couple people I don't know if I could ever forgive. As far as shit that they've done to me, that's absolutely pissed me off. And I'm not going to mention names or who they are, but it's this whole thing that you have to move on with life.
Can you say what they did or not? You don't have to.
I'm not necessarily gonna. No.
Yeah. All right. You got anything for me, Drew?
No.
He's not forgiving no one. No one's gonna forgive me. Gotcha. Nothing. Or you just too in it.
I'm shit keeping in touch with people. It's just I'm.
I can see that sometimes. Like once he moved here too, especially, or even sometimes San Antonio. Like, I'm
shitty keeping in touch with everybody.
I wouldn't say that because you've had visitors. They're all Mexican. Including
Puerto Rican.
Dude, dude, I don't believe that shit because no one ever.
He runs an underground railroad. That's what.
No one has ever like in my life like visited me like until I moved here, and now like people are here every other week.
Well, I didn't visit you because we lived in the same city. But I did hang out.
But I mean, like, no one really visited me in college. No one visited. Oh, Matt visited me in San Antonio. Like, because no one wanted to go to San Antonio, and I can't blame them. I didn't even want to go to San Antonio, and I fucking live there.
Yeah, no, I get
it. So,
I get it.
I'm not quite sure about that because a ton of people, and I hear crazy stories from him about all sorts of people.
I do. I've just become less social. But anyway, moving on. Nice question.
Ooh.
Next,
I can tell you why you don't have any buddies.
But he did. He did half of it. He did. I guess he would want the people to forgive him for that. What is the reverse of that? I've been up too long.
I'm not going there.
All right. All right. No. You shut the door. All right. This is the last one. This is the last one. Then y'all get through the gauntlet. This one's called I Like, I Wish, I Wonder. I like that I did. What's it called again? I wish I had done. I wonder what would have happened if.
Oh my God. Why don't you give us these questions beforehand?
I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people stumble, but I mean, like, I don't know. I just like.
Well, I kind of said it earlier. I like investing in people.
Okay.
Like investing. Shit, if they're having a bad time in the day, hobos walking down the street. I like the fact that I treat everybody like a person. However, I am gonna joke around with everybody, and it's fun to when hobo comes up and says whatever to you, you have a smart ass response and then try to get them to laugh, joke around. I like that. I wished I didn't procrastinate as much. And I wonder what the future holds because sometimes it feels like all my dreams have been crushed, but I know I can get back to that. And I'm wondering when that's going to happen. And I know I have to get up in the morning and just go, get up and make that phone call just to get closer to that dream that maybe take 2 to 3 years, but that one phone call will get me there, kind of thing. So that's my answer.
Boom.
I like what I do for a living. I wish that I could bring my significant other into the industry with me. And what was the last one?
I wonder what would have happened if.
I wonder how my life would have been like if I never would have started DJing when I was younger. And the path I would have taken. Because DJing has led to me staying in the entertainment industry. I would have never tapped into it if it wasn't for DJing.
See, what is it? Caffeine Kid, right?
DJ Caffeine.
Oh, my
Kid.
bad. That's DJ Caffeine. Man, it's like a doctor. Like you put the doctor in my name. He's like,
excuse me.
DJ Caffeine Kid. So is I believe the word is impetus or epidus or I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Empathy.
Empathy means
No, I meant impetus. Impetus, right?
Impetus.
Is that the word?
Impetus for what?
For creating the rest of him is what I meant. like it started everything else is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the right word, but I think it is. But whatever.
That works. They got the picture
Okay,
painted.
Drew, any interest in answering this or no?
What, where, when, why, how is that?
It's called I Like, I Wish, I Wonder. I like that I did. I wish I had done. I wonder what would have happened if.
Why does it have to be on me?
Sounds like a song. I like.
Did you get back to R. Kelly songs? Is that what you're just saying?
See, so you
Works.
like architecture, right?
Yeah.
Hold your hand. You wish you had drank more Coke.
No, that's.
I wonder what would have happened if he drank Pepsi instead.
Too many wonders. It's a depressing question to answer to get too far into. I don't need to go down that.
Drew's
road.
like, look, I ain't looking into my soul. Like, the fuck is wrong
I'm
with
not
you?
getting there.
What if Coca-Cola stopped production for 3 months worldwide?
I'd probably be like I'd probably become extremely healthy and happy.
Really?
And not even know what to do with myself.
All right.
It wouldn't be crushing.
It sounded like it would be crushing. I felt like that was Drew admitting that this version of Drew would die without Coke, and other Drew would be born. All right, so you can. What are the? This is the plugs part. So plug your shit. No, your shit, or you plug yesterday. But I meant like your plugs, the podcast, anything you want to plug.
Oh, go for it.
So our radio show is Gay Brunch, and you could find that on tokeradio.com. You could also find it on the App Store on Android and iTunes. I'm pulling up the app right now. I don't even know the name of our own.
Oh, come on, you got it. It's probably Toke Radio, right?
No, it's called TuneIn Radio. That's one of.
TuneIn, yeah.
TuneIn is one of them, and then we have an app, and then we also have a website you can go to as well, tokeradio.com.
Okay.
And we're based out of Colorado, and you can also look me up, DJ Caffeine Kid, on Facebook. That's my DJ page.
You got any mixes online or?
No, actually, I haven't put anything out in such a long time.
Gotcha.
My mixes are so old. It's Eminem singing "Two Trailer Park Girls Go Round."
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Man, Slim Shady, young Slim Shady. He just announced a new album in 2 weeks.
Really?
Called Revival, yeah.
I'd like to hear that.
I hope it's good, man. I hope it's good, but we'll see.
Yeah, and Adam's also getting ready to start up his other radio show again, Chili Chatter.
It's because of Mexican chili chatter.
But
so, oh no.
What time zone are you guys in?
Central.
Central?
Yeah.
So
we're 1 hour ahead of you.
So we broadcast at 11 o'clock Central Time on Sundays.
Wait, no. Because let's say like today we started at 12. It would be 1.
1 o'clock on Sundays.
Yeah.
1 o'clock on Sundays on Toke Radio.
Central Time. The normal way for the future to say this is you say your time and then you just emphasize that you're Mountain Time.
So noon Mountain Time, and Chili Chatter goes on from 2 to 4 Mountain Time, Mountain Standard Time.
There you go.
or whenever Adam gets up.
We've talked about we're actually going to be moving our station.
Not the station, the show.
The show more central so that we can. It's easier to get guests on.
Yeah.
People that we talk to in the area, and then also doing a little bit more with video.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be all day on Sundays.
Yeah, it's going to be a little challenging, but it should be a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So
any other plugs? Sid?
Nothing right now.
Any plugs from you, Drew, or nah? Got any website for you or nah? All right. He's shaking his head. Okay, there we go.
Negative. Not coming in for landing.
All right.
He's building the Museum of Cochino art right now.
What's cochino?
It means pig in Spanish.
Dirty.
It means nasty,
yeah, it is
nasty
pretty.
Girls.
It is pretty nerdy. There's some pretty like just generally reprehensible shit going on with these sculptures.
Skankiest stuff.
Worse, yeah.
And where can we see this collection of pornography?
Between on the Cherry Creek. Between Wazee and Wine Coop, whatever.
And is there a cover? I mean, an admission fee?
Nope.
So not everybody will come through then. Everybody, we hate paying cover in San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I don't blame them because I hate paying too. But I mean, that's a natural thing. That was been one of the struggles in the local music scene is that no one really wanted to pay cover. So that made it extremely hard. Yeah, because a lot of bars would just, unless they were good places, they would just be shit sometimes, and like even giving you the 10%, from the bar or some of that. So
I do understand that though, because so as a bar owner, you have to look at if so one of the bars that I have performed at did it in a smart way. They would have 3 different bands, and some of the places I've been at have been smart enough that the drummer doesn't get to bring their whole drum kit in. The drum sets, the kick, everything's there for you, and you get to play the drum that they give you. And it sucks for a drummer. A lot of times they're showboats and they want to show their stuff off, and I get that. But the thing is you'd have 3 different bands. This band got blue, red, yellow tickets, and then however many tickets you sold, you would get paid from. So I understand it from the financial point of it. And outside of that, why should all the bands get paid the same when this band packed the house and this band brought in 2 people?
That used to happen a lot more in the band era, but that doesn't happen too much now. Now there's usually a in-between booker that might either be one of the bands themselves or an actual person who doesn't do shit for music and is just a booking person. Those people we easily hate because they're just middlemen who don't always treat people the best way. But yeah, and then usually they'll come up with a way to pay and take a cut for them. Like if it's a band, they're 90% of the time they split it evenly. If it's a booker, then they have their little fee that they take,
Yeah.
So
it's here in Denver, like it's rare. There are places that charge covers, but some of the smaller bars are starting to charge covers now. Which,
and the other thing too for the covers is it does keep certain people out of the bar.
Well, we do have a homeless problem here in Denver.
So that's one of the deterrents for sure.
And gay bars is where you get really cheap booze.
And that's the trick. In my stay here, I went to Black Box on Halloween. It was like a dubstep venue, had a lot of bass sound system, and I went to Bar Standard the next day.
Oh, okay, down there in the triangle.
Yeah, and they both had covers, but one was Halloween, the first one, and then even on the Wednesday, I guess they had I don't want to say like super famous, but I guess he's not from here, So I mean, it made sense that they had covers, I wasn't a part of me didn't want to pay them first because I'm cheap, but the other part of me is like, I'm never in Denver. Just fucking do it, So,
so a funny story about Bar Standard, and so most of your fan base is out in San Antonio, right?
Yeah, we have nobody here.
So Bar Standard, and there's another bar called The Church, which it's an old Catholic church that they made into a nightclub.
Nice.
And another bar called Vinyl. and it's all owned by the Greek mafia.
I got invited to Vinyl yesterday.
Vinyl's a pretty badass club.
Okay. I didn't go because I didn't want to pay another cover.
But they're all owned by the Greek mafia.
Oh man.
And most they own a majority of those clubs in that little block area that you went to.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's where it goes down, man.
Yeah.
Won't even say no more. We ain't trying to do nothing stupid. But at this point, we're pretty much done. So unless there's some subjects you want to talk about, like we can wrap it up. No. That's it. All right. So last words.
I got nothing, man. I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter. It's just a chance to say last words. You don't gotta say last words.
So what do I do? Be like Mike Wallace and talk about how back in the day we used to have fax machines? I'm kidding. Tune in to Gay Brunch on tokeradio.com every Sunday, noon o'clock, Mountain Standard Time.
There you go. He adapted already. Any last words, Drew? Damn. Hit me with the Depeche Mode, enjoying the silence.
Words like violence break the silence.
Yeah, in my... I don't know the lyrics. I just know the melody.
Words are very unnecessary.
They can never be wrong. Some stuff like that.
They can only do harm.
Karaoke, son. Get fucked. This is what happens when you don't say shit, son. People start singing in your apartment. Say shit next time.
Between people.
I could start singing. Everybody knows about the bird.
No. I gotta go to sleep in a few hours. In 1 hour.
I was like,
don't put things in
his head. I
his
don't
head.
need that in my ears.
But yeah, man. All right, we done. Bake that chicken, smoke that turkey. Boosh.
Peace out.
All right.
Copy.
ALR Boosh. Diary of a Boosh. Part 1. Should I stay or should I go? I don't know. So I spit it in a rap flow. Ayo. What am I doing in Denver? Passing the time until I remember. Feeling like White Cup gone to November. Mom prays I'm back for December. Cause I left on a whim, left out to my next of kin. Frustrating game of life not winning. Funny my family told me I was killing. Cause I write rhymes when I make Instagram posts every time. Every picture works on the craft, lyrics whack, okay, as long as I make you laugh. But a one way to Colorado, Corvettes or Desperado. Means they live like no tomorrow. Hit up Drew for a couch to borrow.
Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole. I'm real repetitive, yo. Life giving me them blows, not them good ones, though. More like ludicrous elbows. Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole.
Dreamed it Halloween in Denver, change of seasons, night to remember. Black box, logo, dubstep crew, bass drops, you know what to do. Past 2 a.m. Tom's Diner, burgers and shakes, nothing finer. Bar stander the next night, house beats while drinking Sprite. No mind, Josh Butler, England. Friend advice, tell me to see them. International artists for the weekend. Walking the boat, no speeding. Experience is what I'm here for. But honestly, I just hit a board. Chill mode, like I'm at the resort. Nothing else, interesting.
Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole. I'm real repetitive, yo. Life giving me them blows, not them good ones, though. More like ludicrous elbows. Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole.
Back in SA now, life, where will it take me? Wow, where do I wanna go? Better question to ask myself, yo. Rap flow, my diary, hey. Rest of my songs might be this way. Rap to keep my head on straight. Real shots, no head on fakes. Will I do what it takes to make myself really, really great? Will I crumble, pressure too great? In love with the need to create? Makes me feel real good. Used to have regrets, wish I could. Nowadays I do the thing, going after what my heart sings.
Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole. I'm real repetitive, yo. Life giving me them blows, not them good ones, though. More like ludicrous elbows. Should I stay or should I go? You tired, I know. Of hearing the same flow, I'ma sound like an asshole.